people say that Dark Knight is like the greatest movie of all time, but I think that the entire Christopher Nolan Batman series is almost ruined by the Batman voice. I mean, God, how can you not? Can you get through any of the Batman voice in those movies and not laugh? Christian Bale, dude, someone needed to tell. How famous was Christian Bale that no one on set can be like, dude, we're cracking up on set every time you do that. It's not working. It sounds ridiculous. You please stop. It's only going to get worse as time passes on, and there were 10 years and 20 years past the movie, and people were like, oh my God, everyone liked this? Why is he talking like that? Christian. That's how you know someone's way too famous. No one can go up to and be like, Christian, that voice is ridiculous. I'm peeing my pants listening to you. You're not having the desired effect. The effect you're going for is not coming through. Keaton started a Batman voice. Yeah, but his was a little bit better, I want to say. Michael Keaton's a good actor. So was Christian Bale. But Michael Keaton was great. One of the reasons my favorite Quentin Tarantino movie is Jacky Brown, even though it's like the least iconic of his movies, is Michael Keaton's in that movie. And he's great. He's just like a little side character. He's one of the feds who's trying to get Jacky Brown. He's so good in it. He's like the original Pete Carroll. He chews his gum aggressively in Jacky Brown. He's like 45-year-old Pete Carroll in 1997. I like Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton. Kill Bill. I don't know. My thing with Quentin Tarantino is that he has nothing left to say after Pulp Fiction. So Jacky Brown, he did a great interpretation of Elmore Leonard's book, Rum Punch. Elmore Leonard's my favorite novelist. And to Quentin Tarantino's credit, Jacky Brown is better than Rum Punch. He improved Rum Punch, which is an A+ book, by focusing it on Jacky Brown, making her black. She's white in the book. That's brilliant. It adds depth to her character. And focusing it on her is key as well, because she's not all about her. It doesn't start with her in the book. And also the soundtrack. The Quentin Tarantino soundtrack was the best. All the doo-wop the Delphonics. The Delphonics are all up in Jacky Brown. It's just so good. All that flavor in Jacky Brown. And then after that, he kind of like, well, I'm a big fan of kung fu movies, so I'm gonna make some knockoff kung fu movies. Yeah, they were cool. When they're on TV, I'll watch them sometimes because I like the actors in them, and Uma Thurman's cool. But he had nothing to say, and now he makes historical fiction movies about the Holocaust and slavery, and he turns the Holocaust into Westerns where some superhero who looks like Brad Pitt comes and saves a bunch of Jews. Like, I mean, it's a romantic thought, but that's not how it went down. And I think it's kind of, I'm not really into it. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't offend me as a Jewish person, but I'm just like, You know what I mean? Like, Inglourious Basterds, like, would have been cool if that existed and they actually made a difference, but, it didn't. And really what happened where we just got slaughtered. So I don't see the point. I really like Jacky Brown in his first 3 movies, though. That guy had something to say. He definitely did. But you know what? Most artists fall off. Like, someone was asking me about Too Short and Mac Dre. Mac Dre never fell off, but he died. So he might have fallen off. Too Short hasn't made a good song since he made 19,999 in about 10 years ago. Blow the Whistle was great too, but that was 16 years ago. Or no, that was 14 years ago. So Too Short fell off. Everyone falls off. This happens. If you got 3 classic movies in you, good for you. Good for you, Quentin. And if you keep making, mediocre movies because they make you money, well, I'm not going to knock you. Keep making money, but I'm not going to pretend like they're that great. I mean, the most recent one he made was like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It was okay. It was like really long. And, what are you going to do? He had more to say when he was younger. Maybe I'm going to be whack making terrible YouTube videos when I'm in my 50s. And everyone's like, God, Grant fell off hard. Remember when Grant was edgy and cool and funny? Ooh, I hope that doesn't happen. The one person who never fell off and really managed his career perfectly is Dave Chappelle. I idolize Dave Chappelle. I don't know if you've noticed, but I try to basically be like him. I've seen him live in San Francisco at least 15 times. Every time he puts anything on YouTube, I watch it. And the most recent thing he did My brother sent it to me this morning. I haven't texted him back. Brian, if you're watching, I'll watch it. It was unreal. So good. I'm going to text you in a minute. But basically, this whole thing was about how unhappy he was. I mean, how, not unhappy, but how hard it is to be an artist. And all the people that try to take advantage of you along the way, and how difficult it is to make the money and feed yourself, and how many people try to take the money out of your hand, how to get in between, how many people try to get in between you and your food. He made a great point, and I was just thinking, like, I could really relate. I felt that way for the last 10 years, and now the way he feels about Netflix is how I feel about Sports Illustrated and YouTube. So thank you, YouTube. Thank you, Sports Illustrated. I feel like I'm out of purgatory the way he feels like he was out of purgatory. I don't know where I'm going with that, but yeah. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, all of you. Thank you. I wish if my dad could have got paid on ad revenue in the mid 80s, my goodness, he would have made hundreds of millions. He made a lot of people rich for a modest guild workers, newspaper writers, mid 80s salary. He made a lot of people rich. Now I'm in control of all my ad revenue. And you notice back like 2 years ago, all the high level sports writers with a following were trying to leverage that into getting people to pay subscriptions. If you like the guy, now you owe him $5 a month to keep reading his stuff. And he promises you he's going to give you extra special stuff. But you just got to give him $5. That's a cup of coffee. All of a sudden, every sports writer is like, hey, can you give me $5 a month too? To my credit, I haven't asked anyone to give me any money yet. I appreciate the tips. But I basically give you all this stuff for free. And you guys watch some ads. And I appreciate that you watch them so I can make some. I think my business model is a lot more honest and what's the word? Egalitarian. I'm not asking you to give me $5 a month. Just, click skip when or watch it or watch the whole advertisement. I don't care. But now I'm starting to see people get into YouTube a little bit. See, I think this business model is a little bit better. Why should you be paying $5 a month to every single one? The old subscription model. You don't have to get ads. What's wrong with ads? I learn from ads. Sometimes ads are funny. How am I going to know which car to buy at Christmas if I'm not bombarded with car ads in December? I don't know how to make decisions. So really, I think commercials are kind of underrated, and I think you guys feel the same way. So appreciate you. Really, I do. Is Kevin timeout's 5 minutes? He'll be back. Grant was never cool. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Are you guys mad that I put Kevin on timeout? I'm sorry. Kevin Wang is awesome. Okay, he's back. Kevin's back. He's got burners. He's cool, man. He's cool. Kevin, I got no problem with you. You just need a little timeout. I need some timeout sometime. No, you are a capitalist, Grant. Well, were you a Grant Cohn OnlyFans? Don't talk to me like that. Don't you talk to me like that. What is OnlyFans? I don't know. What is that? I don't understand. What's that? Never heard of that. No, I've never heard. Grant was a Beastie Boy. I love the Beastie Boys. Are the Beastie Boys not cool? Now, 80s Beastie Boys are always cool. The 80s Beastie Boys are I don't know if much 80s rap holds up better than 80s Beastie Boys. Their first two albums, plus all the little Lucy singles they had before and in between. Great. Because they're like Run DMC, which were also great, but they had that like bratty frat boyishness, which is kind of rare in rap. You always got tough guys, but like obnoxious brattiness. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, that is fantastic. And the Beastie Boys kind of invented that back in the day. So then they got really like serious and like in the 90s, and they had like good singles, but a lot of their like albums in the 90s were like, listen to us play our own instruments. Oh, like, so I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I like Paul's Boutique. You're not going to impress me with your 8-minute riff, Mike D. Sorry. Can you play your favorite Mac Dre song before you leave? I wish I could play little music drops, but then I couldn't monetize this on YouTube because of copyright. So no. But my favorite Mac Dre song of this month is Doing What I Do. So if you want to search that up, it's called Doing What I Do. I like that song. And if anyone remembers Trill TV, which was, remember back in the day, there was Cribs, and everyone, it was like, if you were on Cribs, you were really famous. But a lot of times, like Cribs would kind of pick and choose, and they were never going to put Mac Dre on Cribs because he wasn't like nationally famous. So he made his own. It was called Trill TV, and it was basically a look into his life. And the first scene is him sitting on the diving board of his pool in his backyard, probably in like Vallejo or something, like some house that's probably like $400,000. And he's playing with remote control speedboats, little tiny ones, and they're like doing donuts and stuff. And he's got like his whole like crew like standing around watching, and they got that song playing as like the thing is doing donuts. It feels like a Chappelle Show skit, but it's real. It's so good, and I love that song. So when you're doing something really silly, like making a sandwich or walking down the street, I like to have that song as my soundtrack. I'm doing what I do. I'm just doing what I do. See, that's the thing I think people don't understand about rap. It's supposed to be the soundtrack to your life. It's not that serious. It's the soundtrack to your life. And there's always an occasion for songs. So I don't know what you listen to when you walk down the street. Maybe you're listening to, I wanna hold your hand. Maybe that's what you like. But me, I'm just doing what I do. I'm just doing what I do.